Happiness is relative, therefore, each person finds it in their own unique way. Sometimes, knowing where to find happiness is not the main problem, it's in knowing how to find it. Happiness can be found in many ways, and that's why you need to read this tidbit to understand how to find your own happiness. Happiness is not something that can easily be achieved or acquired, it involves determination and patience, alongside grit and focus. You might wonder what it takes to be happy and why you're not feeling any form of happiness, no matter how hard you try. The idea behind happiness is that you must first understand what makes you happy. To do this, you need to learn and unlearn a lot of things about life in general. This reason is why Jonathan Haidt, a teacher and a psychologist, has put down his thoughts in the book The Happiness Hypothesis. Through his delicate choice of words and real-life examples, you are bound to find the answer to your question about true happiness. Your interpretation of things determine the kind of life you'll live. Once you can control your interpretations, you can control your life. Change is useful and essential, but it's tough to achieve and difficult to maintain. You can decide to change the course of your elephant to effect a change, but there's a high chance that the elephant will switch back to its initial lane, bringing you back to square one. The most important words in the elephant's language are like and dislike. Humans possess what can be called a like-o-meter. The like-o-meter works like a device that measures whether you like something or not. Humans tend to divide their lives into two parts, according to their level of reasoning. Some like to be optimists, while some like to be pessimists. This is as a result of the elephant's emotional reaction to things. The emotional reaction of the elephant is then responsible for most of the choices humans make, especially when it comes to choosing careers. Your inner elephant will definitely overreact to certain things like a change of course, a new companion, a new environment, etc. It also overreacts to insignificant things, thereby allowing emotions to cloud judgments. To be able to control your life, you must first control the emotional sides of the elephant, and this you can do with the help of cognitive therapy, antidepressants like Prozac, and meditation. Reciprocity is an automatic behavior and reaction that has become an integral part of human life. Reciprocity is when you expect equal treatment for something you shared with someone. Reciprocity serves as a reminder that actions need rewards, and this has helped foster the evolution of humankind. This was evident in the days of hunters in the earlier days of man. Whenever they kill a large animal, they shared it with multiple tribes. When these tribes also killed large game, they shared it with the other hunters as well. Reciprocity creates an act of expectation that allows kindness to grow. While the good sides of reciprocity cannot be overemphasized, its disadvantages can also not be overlooked. An experiment was carried out, and two subjects were presented with a total amount of $25. The first subject was asked to share the money among themselves according to his discretion, while the second subject was given the power to either accept or reject any amount given to him. Most people who participated in this experiment shared the money equally, and the second subjects all accepted the share. However, those that were given less than $7 rejected the money vehemently, thereby making sure both subjects got nothing. The second subject is initially not entitled to any of the money, but because there's no equal share and respect for reciprocity, the second subject doesn't mind that they'll both get nothing. Lack of reciprocity can cause a conflict of interest, gossip, hatred, and defamation of another person's identity. Humans believe that when you don't reciprocate, you're an ingrate that doesn't deserve help again. Humans tend to see the faults of others more than they see their own. Admitting to your faults can be very difficult because the elephant is programmed to deny accusations. Once the elephant denies the accusation, the rider also follows suit and tries to vindicate you instead of examining the accusation. In relationships, biases and accusations cause conflicts because humans hardly accept that they are at fault. When you examine your true position on a matter, you'll realize that when you apologize for being wrong, there's a high chance the other party would reciprocate. Reciprocity then occurs because there's a mutual exchange of true admittance to faults. The world is more than good and evil because the concept of what's good or evil is relative according to culture, belief, and tradition. The need to understand that the world is beyond good and evil is the reason for adaptation. Adaptation has been a very strong and developmental evolution in humans. When humans adapt to new environments, cultures, and societies, they are mostly concerned about finding happiness that would be better than what they've been experiencing. Adaptation means that you are willing to blend with a new philosophy and associate with it without conflict of interest or expression. Short-term happiness can only bring short-term satisfaction. External factors affect the level of happiness you can have, and your adaptation to these factors determine the level of your happiness. Some external conditions are easily adapted to, while some are very hard to adapt to. When it comes to relationships, it's harder to adapt, unless you create a conviction within yourself. Social life and upbringing contribute highly to people's level of happiness. This is why antisocial people find it hard to be happy. To create lasting happiness, you must find a way to align your passion for what you do. Make sure you love and enjoy what you do, otherwise, you'll hate your life and end up not pursuing your passion. The act of love is a very fundamental, important and needed feeling in the lives of humans. Love creates attachments, and that's why an infant is biologically attached to his mother so he can experience healthy growth. Humans experience two kinds of love, passionate and companionate love. Companionate love is very important because it's biological, and it lasts longer. Companionate love builds a strong connection that makes it difficult for you to want to be separated from that person you love so much. Unlike companionate love, passionate love doesn't last forever. Passionate love mainly happens at the beginning of a relationship before manifesting into companionate love later. The feelings of passionate love can be likened to the influence of narcotics. Narcotics can give temporary pleasure, but they can never replace the natural pleasure and happiness that comes from real life. Instead of being particular about passionate love, endeavor to build and sustain a companionate love that will last forever. Adversity can be used to your advantage because it propels you to reflect on yourself. Humans often believe that tough times, traumatic events, and terrible conditions puts them in a better state where they are stronger and happier. This is not always true. A lot of people go into a long depression after experiencing traumatic events, even though research shows that most people somehow benefit from hardships as time goes on. In a lot of cases, when you lose someone or something, the feelings and emotions trigger a reaction that allows you to want to move on. Moving on then requires that you focus on something, and this focus, in turn, boosts your creativity. Also, going through troubled times can also strengthen friendships and relationships because these are the moments where help is required and given. Your happiness is heavily influenced by the agreement between the elephant and the rider. As long as there are conflicts between the elephant and the rider, you're bound to be very unhappy. Adversity and reproach allow you the chance to reflect on a mistake, re-evaluate your position, and make necessary adjustments. For example, when you lose a family member, the emotional reaction can lead you to question life and reality. This pushes you to be more conscious of your life and bring you closer to your personal life. There are several moments in your life when adversity affects you positively or negatively. Kids and adults over 30, for example, when affected by adversity, are not very strong against it. However, teenagers and people in their early and late 20s tend to benefit significantly because they are at that stage where they question life. At this stage, they are searching for meaning to life, and adversities can provide the perfect leverage for them to reflect and make corrections where needed. At this point, they can reconcile their elephant and their rider. Virtue and morality can give happiness as long as the community upholds them. Virtue is made up of several traits like morality, altruism, nobleness, and some other respected character traits. In the days of ancient Rome, these character traits were seen as the correct way of life. High morality and nobility were traits attached to men of honor and courage, especially men of noble birth. Nowadays, however, nobility and morality are almost lost. Morality in the current world is no more a necessity because Western culture doesn't enforce it. Morality in the modern world is now a choice, and it has become an obligatory service for people. To become truly moral and noble, you have to train your elephant under constant practice and focus. Practicing altruism and believing in the essence of helping others gives meaning to your life, and connects you to other people so that you can live together. When you find joy in helping others, you will find true happiness that comes from within and would a lifetime. Another method of practicing morality is to establish a society where a set of values and doctrines would be practiced. This would have a strong positive effect on all involved so they can reconcile their rider and elephant. Moving to a community where values and rules are followed would boost your morality because you have to adapt, and in the course of adapting, you level up in your morality. Morality increases happiness as long as it's not forced on you. Religion has the power to give you happiness because it inspires moments that create lasting memories for you. Irrespective of your religious inclination or belief, you have a divinity scale that helps you determine what's holy or not. Religion inspires awe moments when you simply can't explain a situation with words or gestures. Tradition, culture, and religion go hand in hand, which is why your belief is relative. For example, ideas that revolve around the use of animals is commonly frowned upon because it is considered impure and unholy. In the current Western world, though, religion, like morality, has become a thing of choice. The awe moments created by religious experiences establish some connections that strengthen love among people. When you are with a group of people who you share the same beliefs with, you'll most likely experience awe. Atheism is fast spreading across the world because people are moving away from religious practices in droves. The current Western world does not enforce or duly promote divine experiences that come from religion, and as a result of this, a lot of people feel like they are missing something important in their lives. Society has become a free world where anything can be discarded, including religion. Helping others is easy when you surround yourself with people you genuinely care about. There are times when you are confused as to whether you should help yourself or help others. This question is particularly important when you realize that it's possible for you to help others first and then regret it later. The best way to answer this question is by surrounding yourself with people you truly love and care about. This makes it easier to help others first when the need arises. Also, what you do should be synchronized with your beliefs about the concept of good or bad. Finding meaning in what you do involves finding identical values between your beliefs and the ones in your job. When you are focused, and you have a purpose for your work, you will feel happy. Regardless of what you do or where you work, as long as you attach an important purpose to what you do, you will be happy. Avoid negative attitude, and try as much as possible to value what you do. A negative attitude brings unhappiness and an inferiority complex. The answer to having a meaningful life can be found only by understanding the kind of creature that you are. Humans are divided and shaped in many ways. You are shaped by individual selection and preferences to be selfish in your quest for survival. You are a social creature who needs love and attachment, and you are an adventurous creature who isn't satisfied until he finds answers. The true answer to the question is that happiness comes from between. It is not something that you can find, acquire, or achieve directly. You must be patient to get the conditions right. Some of the conditions required are within you, and that is why you must be familiar with your rider and the elephant. When you connect to something bigger and greater through religion, nature, or meditation, you are well on course to achieving a meaningful life. A good place to look for wisdom is where you least expect to find it. Since you are already familiar with the things you know and believe in, you need added knowledge, and the best place to find it is in the actions of your opponents. If you look beyond the myth of pure evil, you might see some good ideas for the first time. By balancing your reactions drawing on the wisdom that is ancient and new, Eastern and Western, even liberal and conservative, you can navigate pathways in life that will lead to fulfillment, satisfaction, happiness, and a sense of meaning that gives life to your existence. You can't simply pick a destination and then walk there directly because the rider does not have that much authority and power. But when you draw on humanity's greatest ideas and best of science and sociology, you can train the elephant, know our possibilities as well as your limits, and live a contented life. Avoid choosing a job for its salary or stipend. Your job has to be meaningful to you, it has to be something you enjoy doing, and something you truly know how to do. Don't pursue a passion that you are not good at. Forcing a career will cause reproach, and this will frustrate you into being unhappy. Doing what you love brings long-term happiness. Conclusion. Happiness is a state of mind that is important to your growth and survival. Everyone wants to be happy, but not everyone knows how to be happy. When you know how to attain true happiness, your life becomes meaningful, and you can then discover and pursue your true purpose. Always put forth a positive attitude. It gives you a push toward what you want to achieve, while a negative attitude creates a barrier that blocks your progress.